Happy Thanksgiving, folks. Zach Cross here. Today I'm coming to you from North Yuba Water District. I heard that Jeff Maupin managed to get himself his severance package of a little over $2 million put into place before he gets fired, if he's going to get fired somehow. Now let's keep in mind we've paid this guy about $250,000 a year for him to make farms close by not getting irrigation, playing games. Let's keep in mind he ripped off the city of Elk Grove before he came up here and lied to get the job with his diploma hanging on the wall that turns out has nothing to do with anything based in reality as far as hydrology or any of that goes. And I do know, and I tried to stay away from this because I hate to take the livelihood away from people, but get back here, Katie. I do know that, some of the employees were colluding and either breaking the law or right on the skirt of breaking the law. Now, I don't hold the employees responsible. When you have the directors and your boss, the manager, telling you to do illegal things, that must be pretty intimidating when you're afraid to lose your job. But folks, this is ridiculous. This turned into nothing but a feud against the Fellowship of Friends and Alton Wright. It cost us however many millions of dollars that these fools have paid out and everything else. And like I said, I feel bad for the employees. I don't know how many of them were colluding on their own. I don't know how many felt obligated to do it, or maybe they would lose their job. But they should probably go talk to the union, because Jeff Maupin has already ended up doing the same thing he did here. He did to the city of Elk Grove. And my guess is he's going to take that $2 million and abscond. Now, if there is criminal conspiracy for fraud against the voters and the ratepayers, like I believe that there actually is, and have a little bit of evidence on my own, plus whatever anybody else has, the employees can't be held financially liable, but they can be held criminally liable as part of a criminal conspiracy. And this is why it would be important for them to go talk to their union reps and see about doing something, either collaborating with law enforcement and the new board, or whatever has to be done to correct these. Jeff Maupin doesn't give two poops about any of us. We saw that this year when he let farms close down, when he put us at more risk for wildfire. He's already screwed over Elk Grove before, like I said. He's going to abscond with the money. I believe the directors can be held financially liable, which sickens me because this tells me how long some of them were colluding. Ginger Hughes homesteaded her property so she could get whatever illegal stuff she wanted to do out of the way and not have it affect her home. I do believe, even with a lien, if you're guilty of criminal conspiracy and taking part of that as directors, I do believe you can be held somewhat responsible for that. We don't even know what's going to be found once a new board, partially mixed with Alliance people, partially mixed with people who, just want to help their community, get in there and start going over the books. They let Jeff Maupin run this thing into nothing but a big nightmare, knowing very little to anything about water, just hoping he knew what he was doing and worrying about feuding. What are we going to find? Do you think it's okay for Ginger Hughes, Gary Hawthorne, Donald Ferguson, my own cousin, even by marriage it still hurts, Chris Cross, and do you think it's okay for these people, this 5-person board? I can't remember the other one right now. I know I should. Do you think it's okay for them to stick this place, our money, with a $3 million bill for Jeff Maupin to walk away rich for how bad he did? Like I said, I don't know how many people want to go to jail over this. I definitely feel for the employees if they feel like they were harassed or pushed into this, questionable stuff because of who the directors were and their managers were all in on this. They need to help out by getting these people arrested and justice served, because I don't know what to tell anybody, but if you're colluding, not by your choice, but out of fear for your job, nothing should be held against those people. They're just trying to feed their families. But if they're openly colluding and Jeff Maupin's off with his millions and the board is moved away or here living on their farms, what's going to happen to the employees? What's going to happen to the other people who were colluding while Jeff takes the money and runs? The state was full of horror stories when I worked for the state about people just like Jeff who would figure out some loophole to scam the system and disappear. I can't believe the LDS Church would have him as a member with him ripping off not one entity that by the taxpayers, but two. And the fact that he's openly colluding against another religion, that is ridiculous. Do you know what the Pentecostal people in my family who came here from back east had to say about Mormonism 30 years ago? Not much different than what people say now about the fellowship. And for him to have no compassion and probably use his church ties to rip off two entities, I hope he finds himself in infinite darkness or figures out a way to resign and not rip us off for the poor service he's provided. Either way, it looks like there's going to be some criminal stuff, criminal conspiracy of I don't know what. And we should all pray this Thanksgiving that the employees do the right thing and for the employees' safety and jobs. And those poor bastards listening to 5 bad directors and 1 idiotic manager who's never been about anything except filling his pockets and ripping off the community just like he did before in Elk Grove. God bless you and have a happy Thanksgiving, folks. It's pretty fucking wild. That's all I gotta say about it. It's pretty wild. They approved him just 2 days ago to get a severance package no matter what of millions. When you run into these directors out there, give them a piece of your mind, please. Happy Thanksgiving.